How y'all doing? I know I'm not in my normal setup. I'm actually out of town, but that doesn't change anything. We still have to do Steelers chat. We still have to talk about the game on Monday and what I think we need to do on Sunday against the Lions. So I missed the entire game. Entire game, start to finish, pregame, postgame, everything I missed. I was on a flight. So the first thing I saw when I landed was the score, and now we had won. So I saw 29 points. I was immediately like, yes, we scored 29 points. We haven't scored 29 points this whole season. Those are the initial thoughts, like we won. Great. Then I looked at the 27 points and I was just like, ooh, okay, we won by this much. And then, messages started to come through from some of the Steelers chats that I'm in. That's kind of why this is Steelers chat. You get it? Okay. Anyway, so some of the group chats that I'm in started coming through and I started reading them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, everyone was like just straight up panicking, pissed off, angry. And I was like, what? I was like, obviously we must have just blown another lead. And it wasn't until much later in the day I was able, and I was exhausted, y'all. I flew for 8 hours and I tried to watch the game. I got to the second quarter before halftime, somewhere around the second quarter, I just passed out. So I was just exhausted. And I'm exhausted because I don't fall asleep on Steelers football. So I saw the first quarter for sure, and some of the second quarter, and then I picked it back up and watched the third, some of the third, and kind of dozed off again, and then watched. Really, all you needed to see was like the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter when everything just went down the drain. And I did see that. And it was disturbing on both sides of the ball. If you're a fan of football, that was just a disturbing quarter of football for everybody. I don't care if you were a fan, a coach, a ref. It was disturbing for everybody to watch that, the last 5 minutes of that game. And I don't want to just like dive into every little detail. People are upset about the calls that were made. Some people are upset about the calls that were not made. Every week there's like something with the refs. This time it wasn't on us, and it felt good, but it could have easily been on us and went the other way. So it's so unfortunate. I hate how involved these refs are, but I also hate how often I saw a Chicago Bear in the neutral zone. They didn't even call all of them. They called a decent amount of them, but it was like, I don't know, were they doing it on purpose? Were they lining up in the neutral zone on purpose? Because it happened way more times than it was called. And that's weird to me. These are grown professionals. Why are you lining up in the neutral zone? Why? Anyway, so, the calls got attention more so than the win did, right? So, most importantly, we got the win. And I was happy. And I saw Cam Hayward got an interception, his second interception. So that was dope to see. That was so awesome to see. TJ again played crazy. Ninka, the hit on Fields was so dope to see. I love how that was highlighted. Good for him. James Pierre causing that fumble on the return. So that was dope. But let's talk about how they targeted Arthur Millette at the end of that game. So we'll talk about that briefly, and we'll talk about how this game is probably the game that Baltimore And I know we have Detroit. I'm not trying to look past Detroit. I'm just saying because I said last week how Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields are about the most comparable quarterbacks in the league. You can compare them more than you can't compare anybody else to them. They probably are the closest to each other, like each other. So I feel like Baltimore is going to use that particular film to exploit us. Not that they're not going to use any other film, but I think what the Bears saw at the end of that game is very much going to be the game plan for a team like the Ravens. But I won't get into that too much because we still got a whole opponent in front, a whole two opponents in front of us before we get to Baltimore. But that's what I thought about as I watched Justin Fields kind of exploit Arthur Millette in the holes that he saw in that secondary. Yeah, wasn't good. But I think we did. I think we did good on the run game. So I think there's been some improvement there. And we're gonna need that for Detroit. I think offensively, our run game is really going in the right direction. But most importantly, you guys know I'm so happy about the tight end situation with Pat Fryermuth because it's all I've been saying. Get the tight ends ready, locked, loaded. And it's proving to be true. He is a threat. I saw he was a threat in preseason. We waited, we took a little while to get him involved. I know, like I said, Juju being injured accelerated that, unfortunately, but that did not have to wait. That could have happened a while ago. And that threat is just that that power, that strength, that height is what we need on offense. And I love Deontay too. And I was happy. I was happy to see James Washington get some action. Chase Claypool made made that tough catch or two. I think might have two tough catches, but we don't know if he's playing on Sunday because he has a toe injury. So let's see there. But I do want to see more James Washington, and Pat and Gentry. Like I don't recall seeing Gentry making a catch this game. I could have just missed it. But Pat had an amazing game, and I can't wait to see where we take him where he goes, because I see so much potential in him. He could be a Travis Kelce. And I know people want to, compare to Gronk or whatever, but Travis Kelce is like the hottest thing in the game. And then there's like that guy from Baltimore too. But he could technically be a leading receiver. We got weapons, so we don't necessarily have to use him in that capacity, but he could. He definitely could. I'm excited to see. But the line is playing so much better. Kevin Dotson, we got to work on those penalties, bruh. We really do. We got to fix that because it can't happen every week, sir. It can't happen every week. And, but they're gelling. They're gelling. They're maturing week to week to me. Najee is gonna become one of those backs that they talk about in a positive way for a while. As long as he stays healthy and he continues doing what he's doing, there's no reason for him not to be top back in the league. So I look forward to seeing him progress and that line progress as well. Man, but this week, Detroit's coming into town, and I've been looking at the weather. I've just been looking at these things, and it may be raining. It's going to be cold. It's going to be like straight football weather. I'm excited for it, I'm excited to see, what we come up with these conditions. But this is not a lay down game. Like Detroit's record does not speak to their talent because they've been in some fights. They've been in some dog fights. They almost beat Baltimore. And people are like, oh, almost. Like, yeah, the bounce of the ball on the goalpost is the reason why Detroit Lions lost to Baltimore. Not because, they didn't play well enough. They did. They played well enough to go up and potentially in the game. They probably just scored a little too soon. And you can't give Baltimore a lot of time with a kicker like that. So they have been in some dogfights. And I don't want anyone, sorry, I'll pause for the calls. Okay, I don't want anyone to dismiss them because of their record. And you know how we play. You know how we get down when it seems like there's a significant underdog facing us. So we cannot come in there with that mentality. We have to play hard all 4 quarters of the game, not 2, not 3, all 4. We got to go in there and have that dog fight because they have proven that they can fight it out. So we just got to be strong and we got to go in there. They have a good running back. They have a couple good receivers. They're coming off of a bye, most importantly. So they didn't sat there and watched us just like everybody else watched us on Monday. But probably, more film on us last week than you could imagine because they've been off. So they've been game planning. And I don't like that. I don't like it. But we just got to be prepared. And we are doing so well. And someone was like, oh, Devin Bush, like, I don't even want to talk about it because I am actually rooting for Devin Bush. I think he has had some great moments that people forget about. He probably is still slightly suffering from, he had that groin injury. He's been, he hasn't been 100%. So, like, cut the man some slack. I think he's doing okay. He's not doing bad. But this game, it's winnable, right? If we lose this game, we definitely beat ourselves. I don't know how significant the loss of Chase Claypool will be if he does not play. But I'm looking forward to seeing more James Washington. I think James Washington is a talent. We still don't use him enough, okay? Shout out to Derek Watt. I be seeing him get some action in there. That is so beautiful to see us using a fullback again. I know it's been happening a few times, and it's happening consistently, and I like to see that. So shout out to Matt Canada for figuring that out. That's important. But offensively, consistent, staying consistent, getting down the field, getting those first downs, not settling. Some of those screens, they worry me a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. So every now and then they work. So, yeah. But we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. I applaud everybody that watched that game on Monday live because I would have probably been in the ER because that would have given me some sort of heart attack or something because that was intense. So shout out to y'all for watching that whole game. Ain't no way I would have been able to get through that. I would have had to cut the TV off or something because it was just that intense. But yeah, everybody let me know what you think. I had a great time watching everyone's posts and stuff about it and tweeting about it. And of course, most of my tweets were talking about how Minka was a dog. Let's talk about that real quick. I didn't talk about this, but I want to talk about it. When Cam Hayward had his interception, I watched. Minka was the furthest from the ball. And as soon as he caught that ball, Minka was right there. I was like, this man then flew from the back to front. He the first one there. I don't know what the play, what his particular position was in that play, but it was so funny to me to see him to get the first player right there next to Cam Hayward after he caught that ball. That was hilarious to me. Anyway, you know I'm biased. So yeah, but I will talk to you guys soon. Again, check out my link on the Instagram. I have my Fanatics link on there. I will post it in the description as well. If you want to get some gear, please use my Fanatics link. And I will see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.